Okay, here's the build. Level 165, you've got 60 vigor, 25 mind, which is really high, but you need it because it's a pretty thirsty build. You've got 12 endurance, which is really low and one of the weaker parts of the build, but just because it's so stat hungry, you got to make sacrifices. And endurance is like the first thing to go. Strength and dexterity, you could actually bring those both really low if you wanted to. You could have them both at 12 and pump endurance for some more armor if you wanted to go that route. I like to have some weapon choices, so that's why I've got it set up the way I do: 22 dex and 15 strength. 15 strength lets me use some halberds and stuff like that. I've got Lucerne at 15. Um, what else do I have? The scythe takes 14. The militia saw, which is my primary weapon on this, takes 15. So I just thought at 165 it was worth it. Intelligence and faith at 30 each, and that gives me access to these amazing spells, all of which have just different uses. And yeah, then 50 arcane, which is where the power of the spells are coming from, which is 323 and 311. So sorcery just a tiny bit weaker, but everything's boosted, and almost every spell on this build is chargeable. So this goes a long way in adding power. These do, and then this is for spell casting time. You can swap this for whatever you want. If you want weight load or poise or extra health or more intelligence or faith for a different spell you want to use, or even more spells, you can use this. You've got options there. I just like having more spell speed. Yeah, and then so you've got cool things you can do like catch flame into carrying piercer. Super fun, and people don't expect it, and it's just really fun to spell combo with two different schools of magic. So you got those two. You've got a nuke, like a fast laser beam, which is great. Hits incredibly hard. Also chargeable, so that was like 1300 uncharged. 1900 charged. That's a massive difference. And I didn't have the stealth bonus on that one because he saw me. You've got Star Shower. We all know what Star Shower does. Let's see if I can use it over here. Chargeable spell. Yeah, 1300. Not as strong, maybe, but it does kind of home in on opponents, so that's really great. Good tracking on that. Then you can just switch to Flame of Frenzy. It's just insane damage. Ancient Dragon's Lightning Strike is also just absolutely ridiculous. I might have to respawn enemies here because I did this earlier. Yes, I will respawn enemies. Yeah, you've got Ancient Dragon's Lightning Strike. Aegil's Flame. I have that on here for fun. I kind of swap this out for whatever. You might put Cannon of Paima here, just for a big nuke with some AoE on it. Or you can use Giant Flame Take Thee and swap Rael's Roar for something else, but I love Rael's Roar. So yeah, let's get some enemies back and I'll show you these other spells. I mean, Ancient Dragon is by far the most damage I've seen in this game, I think. It just annihilates. Especially if you charge. It says 1600, but really, this thing can hit multiple times. So if you're fighting a boss, you're going to see like into the 3000 plus. It's pretty insane. And that's just with 50 arc. Yeah, it's just ripped. And then when you're surrounded and you want to use Rael's Roar, you can do that, and it's great. If I can just go in here and which, 500 damage on a catch flame is crazy. But yeah, that's the majority of the spells. I do like to have Giant Slim take me on this build, so that's worth swapping out. Maybe get rid of Night Maiden's Mist and Aegil's Flame, and then you have access to Giant Slim Take Me, because it's 2 spell slots, so you'd have to kind of make room for it. But Grail's Roar is just so good. And another thing is, like, you do have boosted dragon spells with this, so it's worth having at least 1 or 2 dragon spells on here just to get that really nice boost in damage. Yeah, I just have this because of the RP, because he's supposed to be like a father uh, guy. And yeah, he has access to like every spell that I would want. I'm not really missing anything with 30 and 30. There's some crazy int stuff that's like higher level, but honestly, I don't really like to use it anyways. Like, there's a moon spell, there's a bow spell, a magic bow spell. The red is great bow is really good, but I don't have enough int for it. But you could put an int in a flask, physic, and make it work. So you can really do whatever you want with this build. Having arcane as your casting stat is just amazing, because then you have access to, Regalia. You've got Rivers of Blood if you need it. You've got blood infusions. You can even use flame art. You can use occult, which I have on some of these. And then you have, yeah, just the arcane scaling weapons and stuff like that. So yeah, that's what this build does. All right.